decide what beer we haven't had yet, for one, and that looked tasty enough to try, for two. And there's almost none of them there at our local Meijer. So I found this pack of Leinenkugels, right? We've had these before, but this is like a brewmaster pack. So they say there's 4 different beers in there. You can mix and match to make 5 different beers. And so we did. And actually, it's pretty good. The one we're having right now is a mix of Leinenkugel's Creamy Dark and their Snowdrift Vanilla Porter.
I've always liked the porter.
Yeah, there's a few vanilla beers that are pretty good. This one has a decent enough vanilla flavor, but it's not over powerful. And then Creamy Dark is kind of like cocoa, nutty, which mixes great with the vanilla. It's really, really good. So if you guys see one of these packs around, scoop it up. There's a few different combinations. Jade and I are going to play around with all of them.
And you get to feel super cool because you make a new drink and you're like,
we can be chemists.
Exactly.
Do you know why?
Why?
Because to a chemist, alcohol is not a problem. Solution.
That was a smart joke.
So.
Science.
We are going to go ahead and get a refill, and we'll be back right after this.
And we're back. So, Kahlan tells Ryan that it's going to be a bad idea to assume the enemy is stupid just because they're the enemy. Like, because you hate them doesn't mean they don't know shit.
Right.
They know what the hammer and anvil is, and they're going to execute a nutcracker if he tries to fucking do that. And you're going to be the nut. Because, like, they are experienced, and they've done more than you have. Basically, Kahlan is telling them, don't divide yourself so it's easier for them to beat you. You have to try and divide them to beat them up.
Divide and conquer, motherfuckers.
Yeah, that's like a thing.
Yeah. This is what that is.
Usually, when we use divide and conquer, it's like when we're cleaning a bedroom.
Oh yeah, cleaning's fine too.
Whoosh! That was right over my head. Okay.
So the captain again tries to speak up for his men. This is the 3rd time. He's like, hey, we're not as dumb as you think we are. That's why I wanted to point it out at the top of the show. And she's trying to be like, no, that's a bad idea. Come do this thing over here. It's much smarter, but fuck you, you're dumb and you don't know anything. You're stupid and you're a baby.
Yeah.
But you should do that. It wouldn't work for me. Maybe logically she makes perfect sense. I'd still be like, okay, we'll go with your plan, but fuck you.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's like respect me and listen to everything I say, but also I don't respect you. And you may listen because you're going to be like, okay, logically I know you're right, but the whole time you're going to be resenting it and being like, okay, but also at the first chance I'm going to trip your ass.
Right. So Kahlan tries to make it real for him. We know they've been training. We know they haven't seen actual combat yet. So she starts describing how terrible death be. Like, not dying in your bed as an old man, but like death on a battle. You're seeing broken ribs people sliced in their stomachs, limbs coming off, bones broken, people screaming out for their mothers. And like all of this comes right off the top of her head.
Yeah.
Kind of freaky.
That's just floating around in there, right there.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. These were the first idea. And on top of that, she tells him, look, these aren't just strangers this is going to be happening to. You are not going to just run onto the battlefield and only see the other people die. You're going to see your buddies going through this too. And it's fucking scary. And he tells her that she sounds like Prince Harold. That's her brother.
Surprise!
By the way, yeah. But that the hammer and the anvil is the only option they have.
Yeah, he's like, he sounds a lot like Richard. He's like, oh, I don't know what the fuck you want me to do, because, like, get it? It's not a great choice, but, like, don't know what else to do. We're doing it.
And also, this speaks to the last episode where I was like, how can Richard know what the correct choice is when he doesn't even know all of the choices he has?
Right.
Captain Ryan is in the same exact position, and Kahlan is about to enlighten his young teenage ass.
Well, first, Chan speaks up from the corner. He's like, all these motherfuckers gonna die, we should leave. And Ryan...
Chad, what do you think? You're all fucked.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yep. Ryan is like, what does this savage know? He throws out the S word. He's like, you're a fucking savage.
I've been listening to a book on objective use savage multiple times, but they literally mean it to be a savage person, not like just talking about another person, but somebody who is so completely removed from human normalcy that they would be considered a savage.
Like a feral human.
Yeah, they use it in a safe way. And then, he says this, and I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, like to a person's face. That is a person who is fully clothed and sitting in the corner. Not that, like, not being clothed, but like this man sitting in the corner with you, having a civilized conversation. Maybe not in your language, but there's nothing else to make him look like a savage other than the fact that he looks different and speaks a different language.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that Kahlan actually gives him a point for. Because she's like, yeah, you say savage, but he's smart as fuck. He speaks 2 languages. Do you?
Yeah.
Then have a good day, Mr. Bradley.
Also,
I said good day. Sorry.
Yeah. Also, how many fucking people have you killed? Because he's killed a lot of them.
Right.
So, burn.
That would be the seller right there. How many people have you killed? Oh, tons.
We don't even have a number for it.
Yeah. So, Captain Ryan gets embarrassed by this and goes on to tell her all the ways that he knows about war. Because, just like his men, he's going to stand up for himself, too. He has been volunteering for 3 years. That means youngest, he was 12 when he joined the army. Oldest, 13.
Yeah.
Which is kind of fun. But he hasn't been in war for the last few years. He's been playing war games and winning scrimmage matches against Prince Harold. And winning on top of that.
I did think it was a little bit funny that he was like, I know about war. I've been playing war games and winning mock battles and shit. I know.
Yeah, I'm a Navy SEAL because I played Call of Duty too. So it's all good, man. No, I get it.
Like, I get he's been preparing for a very long time, but I mean, you don't know.
No, there's no way you can know. But this is what I was talking about earlier. He's so into the duty aspect. Like, we're here defending Gallia, and my country has trained me how to fight, so now I'm going to fight. And that's like, they told me how to do this.
Right. And then in response, Chan is like, hey, you travel like little bitches, by the way.
Softies.
Because the guy is like, we're young, but we're strong. And he's like, no, you're not really. Travel in wagons, which actually kind of surprised me because I thought when we were talking about the people traveling in wagons, we were talking about the shitters. I didn't think we were talking about the smaller army. This doesn't seem very conducive to sneaking up on somebody if you're in.
Probably not, but I imagine that they get within the general area and then get out of their wagons or off of their horses and then approach the army. From there, I mean, yeah, you wouldn't want to ride up to them. Of course, we are talking about thousands and thousands of men, and horses have positions in battle all the time. That's not uncommon. So if your whole thing is we're going to go boo and then split them up and then attack both sides, then maybe you do. Maybe you just charge in.
I mean, maybe it wouldn't be the worst idea, but I don't know. When I realized that these guys were also traveling in wagons, it kind of blew my mind. Because I definitely thought we were just talking about the shit army. And not the smaller people. And I was like, yeah, no, that is stupid. We shouldn't all be chasing each other in wagons.
So Kahlan tells him that they're not going to die because she is sending them back to their command. At first, he's like, oh, so you believe in us? She's like, fuck no. I'm turning you around and sending your asses home. You are done here. She is going to handle this at like a government level way over their heads. They need not worry about it. Just go home. I'll take care of it. The man tells her, no fucking way. First off, The command they would go back to is completely wiped out. They are gone. We saw the evidence of that. There is nobody left. And those men were their friends, their teachers, their brothers, their fathers, their confidants. These are their people. So, like, if your best fucking friend or even mentor was murdered, and that was the only person you had, then this is literally your only reason for existence, period.
100%. Yeah, and not only that, but the people who worked next to you. Like, this regiment was just a small group that was out doing practices in the field somewhere. The rest of their comrades were back. Like, these were people that they trained with. So, if your family isn't your family anymore, these are the closest thing you had to family. Mm-hmm. And they were dead. They had to walk through all of that. So, yeah, you can understand how they'd be like, fuck you, I'm not going back there. We're going forward.
Right. We're going to go kill every single person that had anything to do with it.
And this intensity is what made Kahlan go, oh, you're the door closer. I think she realized that it wasn't everybody. It wasn't the entire troop that went through closing doors. It was this man specifically who saw shit he did not want to see and was like, they deserve more respect than that.
Right. He just couldn't believe what we're seeing. Like, why would that be done to people?
Yeah.
Killing is bad enough. Like,
yeah.
Fuck.
Those are people. Why the fuck would you do that to another person?
And Kahlan tells him men do things like that to make you do foolish shit in reaction. They want to make you reactionary. They want to make you freak out and attack them with 5,000 people so they can kill you.
Which I think is part of it, but I also think part of it is just people being bad. Not all people are, like, bad, but I'm just saying, like, you have that inside of you and you have an opportunity, I mean, take it.
I don't think all people have that inside.
No, I'm not saying that at all.
I think the Keltons have it built in, though. No, that's not fair. We just know that they are the shit. Their boss, the general or the commander, goes, go shit in that room because fuck these people. So I think in this instance, they just are awful people.
Yeah, that was my thought. When she was saying, like, oh yeah, sometimes people do stuff to get a rise out of you. I'm like, yeah, maybe the shitting and the raping was to get a rise out of them, but I think maybe they just like shitting and raping.
Yeah, or maybe they're the worst.
Yeah.
He tells her he has never thought to disobey an order from her or any other person above him. This is what I was, again, referencing earlier. This dude is duty bound.
Through and through.
But they have something that in their view needs to be done. They need to extract vengeance for their brothers, fathers, all of the people died back at the castle.
Yeah.
I mean, it even goes to say that, like, their mothers, their sister. I guess I was talking about the training in the army aspect, but no, they're like moms and their family, their whole fucking family. Everybody's gone.
Yeah, when he says that, it brings things into, like, clarity for me too. Like, before, I was like, okay, seeing the death, that's all pretty bad. But when he says the reason that they want to go after these people and kill them is because those were their mothers and their sisters and their grandparents, like, yeah, you're not going to turn around. You're going to keep going until these people are fucking dead.
Literally your only reason. And makes it totally understandable, although still not smart, why they would say, I've got nothing left. As long as I die trying to inflict harm on those guys, I'll be happy with my death. Because, like, I have nothing else to live for.
Well, especially because these are all single men. They don't have families. Any of their families that weren't, like, they don't have kids and wives. And any of their other family did die. So, like, this is it.
Yeah.
100% you understand why they're like, yeah, suicide mission. Cool. Got it. Don't give a shit.
Even to the point where he's like, I'm not going to do what you say. So if you have to take me with your power, then so be it. And I'm prepared to do that. I hope you are.
Yeah.
And each of his lieutenants, in turn, says, and if you do that to him, you're going to have to do it to me because I'm going to take up. and then the next guy. And if you do it to him, you're going to have to do it to me because I'm going to do it. And like their minds are